We talked about the complexity of passwords and that by adding an additional character, we were increasing the complexity of the password exponentially. And this is a great property for passwords. However, we also mentioned that brute force, that is, enumerating through all of the possibilities in a password, is a last resort. We can now make use, or those attackers can make use of the data sets of passwords that have been leaked out into the wild. And so I set out to demonstrate a simple exercise or a simple attack that is an attack that can be performed by someone who is not a security expert. By identifying one of the downloadable tools that are password recovery tools, I selected Hashcat. In addition to that, I downloaded a list of passwords that someone within the community that posts these type of things had posted in trying to recover the passwords. And so I am going to show you that next. As you can see here, I have a list of 7,000 passwords. They're all hashed, so we cannot read them. And then I have the ROCU dictionary that was the very first data set that was leaked. This is the oldest, the smallest, one of the worst data sets that I could use. But I simply wanted to see that by performing a very simple attack with the most accessible tools, what kind of success I could have against the list of hashed passwords. So the mechanism using Hashcat that I'm going to use is that I will go one by one through all of these passwords, hash them, and then compare them to the list of hashed passwords within this file. And so I'm now going to move here to the console, and I will show you the command line instruction. The very first part of it is simply the application that I will run. And the second part of it, as you can see there, is the 7,000 passwords that I'm trying to crack. And then the third parameter is the dictionary that I showed you. So let's go ahead and run this and see how we do. And you can see there that in a little bit over 3 seconds, we were able to recover almost 2,000 of that 7,000 passwords list. That is over 25% with the most naive, simplest type of attack possible. Now, the list that I have here of passwords of ROCU is about 16 million or so passwords. It's a decent data set, but as I mentioned, this is now the oldest, the worst possible data set I could use. The number of passwords that are available are in the billions, at 5 billion at last count. And so you can imagine that if you were to take all of that data and attack this list, you would be able to do very, very well. So I will share this list and this data with you. Remember, I use Hashcat, and this will be a fire hose exercise if you decide to take it.